Alright, welcome to another Scars of Mirrodin 8-4. Um, got an interesting pick here. There's some good cards here. Mimic That, Arc Trail, and Contagion class. I actually think this one's close. Mimic That's a pretty strong card. Sometimes it just does nothing though, because nothing ends up dying. I guess it's supposed to be Arc Trail, but I think Contagion class is actually pretty close to Arc Trail. I'm gonna take a Contagion class. Screw it. You can laugh at me all you want, but I actually think that's a pretty close pick for pick one, pack one, pick one. So to follow that up, I could take the Infect card. Really not much else in the pack, is there? There's another Proliferator, but that seems kind of weak. I mean, let's take a Furnace Celebration. I think those are the two picks that have the most upside. Everything else is just really unexciting. So, Furnace Celebration or Corpse Cure. I sort of like the Furnace Celebration, but I think Corpse Cure is going to be better in general. I'll take the Corpse Cure. It's been a while since I've played anything poisony. May not be open. And then I look like a douche. So do I go ahead and take the Untamed Might, or do I just take something good? I'm not. I'm sort of like. There's also Grafted Exoskeleton, but not a good card. And even in poison, it's only okay. It's only good in a bad poison deck, where you don't quite get there in actual creatures that already say Infect. And your creatures are easy enough to kill as it is. You don't need to go ahead and play equipment that make them even easier to kill. Turn on all their artifact removal, which is usually not so good against you. I think I just take the Copper Mirror here. And we'll see. I mean, no, nothing says Infect. I don't really want to get cut too badly. Copper Mirror will be fine otherwise. There just wasn't anything great in that pack. So there's a Bellowing Time. I'm not gonna take a Black Leaf Goblin as the only Infect creature. It doesn't look like Infect is very open. I mean, it could be just some weird packs. And Bellowing Tangleworm's still fine in Infect. So I think that's just the way I go. There's also Molder Beast. I think I like the Tangleworm a little bit more. The Intimidate is relevant. Alright, well this is a little bit more like it for Infect. Plague Stinger, Ica Cloud Mirror. In between the two Plague Stingers, obviously the better of the two. Also an Untamed Might. Go for the Plague Stinger. And another Corpse Cure. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna go Infect, and I'll chalk up those first two packs to just being bad for Infect in general. There could be another Infect drafter, although that last pack sort of suggests that they weren't near me. I guess it could have been a removal spell. I think like Grasp of Darkness might have been taken if someone was Infect. So I'll take the Corpse Cure. Hmm. I guess I gotta take Black Cube Glum in here. This is one of the reasons I just despise Infect. I'll take the Blackleaf Cliffs for splashes, I guess. I don't like Vector Asp. It's early in the draft. I'll be able to pick up like 3 more Vector Asps if I really need them, and I hope I don't need them. There's also Wing Puncture, but I think this early in the draft, I think taking a duel is fine. Might get something worth splashing. This one was this Furnace Celebration? That was in the same pack as what was in the same pack as Corkscrew. This is an awful pack. This is one of the packs where Furnace Celebration should not come back around. I'm gonna hate it here, I think. I think Bladed Pinions is a nice gift for the Infect deck this late. Definitely better than a random trick, I think. I don't have that many creatures that say Infect yet. On the other hand, I didn't really pass anything to suggest that anyone close to me, anyone anywhere close to me, should have gone into Infect. So, can't hope for a better open than that. Hand of the Praetor. Nice Plague Singer and Blight Mamba. Maybe one of those comes back. If not, there's also the Infiltration Lens, which goes just fine in Infect as well. Hopefully one of those 3 will come back. I think so. So, we've got some good support cards. There's Throne of Geth, Heavy Arbalist, Sylvok Lifestaff, and then there's like Shadow, Panic Spell Bomb, which are red splashes. I don't think I take a red splash here. I have some perfectly good, well, not really on color, but artifacts that'll go in here. So between Throne of Geth and Heavy Arbalist, what's the pick? Well, Throne of Geth has a better chance of wheeling, I guess. So I think just for that reason alone, I'm going to take the Heavy Arbalist. I hopefully can wheel something out of this pack. But otherwise, I think it was pretty close. Bearer, sweet. So Sylvok Replica, but at this point, I'm gonna go for the premium Infect creature, especially with like double Corkscrew. Pretty important to get your Bearers. Also, there's a Throne of Geth. There's also a Fume Spitter. Tainted Strike, but at this point I may not want to play one. Hopefully, I mean the goal is to not have to play Tainted Strikes when you're drafting Infect. Like Grafted Hexaskeleton, I'm sure you all know by now. Those are really the only go in the Infect deck that doesn't get there. So this is an interesting one. Lots of good cards for me here. Painsmith, Fume Spitter, Untamed Might, and Blight Mamba. Fume Spitters become a lot better. I have Contagion Clasp and a Throne of Geth. I may even get 2 Throne of Geths, which brings Fume Spitter closer to just 1 mana removal. Well, actually, I guess with Contagion class, it's not going to cost you 1 mana to kill everything. It might cost you like 9 mana. Also, so Untamed Might or Blight Mamba, I think, are the... Because since I don't have an Untamed Might yet, I'm going to want one. I'm going to take Blight Mamba here. Just get some more 2-drops. That's a Infect. The Embersmith is really late and pretty good against Infect. That being said, there's a Copperline Gorge, which, if I open something like or if I get past something like a Blast or a Shatter with nothing in Infect, it can make it pretty easy to play. An off-color red card. I think that's better than hating an Embersmith. Well, yeah. I'm not a fan of the hate drafting. Silvok Lifestaff will be a nice addition to this deck. I guess I just take the Reaver. Battle Gear just doesn't really go. Like, unless you have like Pinions out, or like you have Hand of the Praetor and Plague Singer. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you'll get to equip too many of your guys with a Battle Gear. There's also Wing Puncture. Maybe I just take Wing Puncture for the sideboard. This, I think, is a pretty decent looking Infect deck so far. And there's another 2-drop, which is fine. No, I actually think Blight Mamba was pretty weak overall, but it gets better when you have something like Lifestaff and Hand of the Raiders, of course. Yeah. I'm gonna go Vector Ass for Lifesmith. I don't really know that Lifesmith would ever make the cut here. Series Archer is sort of okay for the sideboard. I've seen the main deck in way too many Infect decks, so again, I think that's just those must be Infect decks that don't get there. Like, don't main deck this card. Otherwise, even if you have that idiot Elf Lord or whatever. I think that's it's a deck I see a lot, actually. Like, people get the Elf Lord. I don't know what's going on there, if they're opening Elf Lord and then they decide they want to go Infect, or if they just get passed around a lot, because it's generally a weakish card. But I've seen that a lot of times, like someone playing like 50% Infect, and then the rest bad elves and the Elf Lord. Or, like, you know, some of them will be a decent elf, like the guy I just hid, the 2/2 Metalcrafter. But like, he's terrible in Infect, especially when you don't have a lot of artifacts. Like, I just don't get that. I've seen that sort of archetype before. Someone somewhere must have written an article about it, or I don't know what it is, but I've seen it. Maybe someone. I generally watch a lot of the online videos. I've never seen a pro advocate that archetype, but like, it's almost like someone must have, because I've seen it, you know, more often than I should have. I'm pretty sure if you're Infect, best thing you can possibly be. Is have the best thing that can happen is most of your creatures are infect. Whether you're aggressive or controlling, that I think both are viable. Probably the best one. The best version is probably not the control one though. But in both versions, you want most of your creatures to be infect and not elves. Enough of a rant. To fill the time. Oh, this is a weak open. I think I just take the infiltration lens. Over the black-leaved goblins. I just think black-leaved goblins are weak. So, again, this is the... I hate infect, but like the real problem with infect is that like you've got to run creatures like this guy because he's still better. Oh, Skinrender, sweet. He's still better than a non-infect creature, except for like a good one like Skinrender, who's also removal. And I'm not just low on removal. I don't have any other than Contagion Clasp. Hey, wow! You can't hope for better than double Contagion Clasp in a infect deck. There's also Necropede, but Contagion Clasp is pretty nuts in fact, and with 3 proliferators, I can start to scoop things up like Instill Infection. I think it was the pick here anyway, but it's even better now. Hey, look, I can have the the deck I just read about. No, I don't even have one of the 4. Like he's okay if you're running a couple of those. What are they called? But Bellowing Tangleworm's almost as good with them. The infect elves. I'll take Blight Mamba here. Thank you. Also, Grasped Exoskeleton. I do have a Skinrender and a Bellowing Tangleworm, which I could potentially play. I think I just want another Infector. I'm not going to splash a Throwing Bird. So I'll take a Wall of the Tanglecord. Liquid Metal Coating sometimes works in an Infect deck. This is not one of those times. When you have artifact removal and protection from artifacts and stuff like that. Maybe I just take a Blister Grub, or do I take a Wall of the Tanglecord number 2? I don't really want to play even one, but it's a possibility, I suppose, that I play one. Memoricide or Bladed Pinions. There's no way I'm playing 2 Bladed Pinions. I have reach other than Bladed Pinions as well. It's not like I don't have any reach. I have Heavy Arbalist, 2 Contagion Clasps, and a Throne of Geth, and also double Corpscur. So I think it's either Memoricide or Telgiad Defiance. Let's take the rare. Even though I think Telgiad Defiance has more chance of making it into the cut, making the cut before or even after sideboarding. Bleh. Not great, but Clone Shell, not really. Bleak Cloven Vampires or Corrupted Harvester. I guess that has the best chance, but I don't think I really want it. Withstand Death could make the cut. I didn't really count the playables. Probably not going to make it, but I guess there are circumstances where I'd bring in 2 Wing Punctures. Not many, because I don't have that many creatures that are actually big. It's not enough that they're playing flyers to bring in Wing Puncture. You have to make sure that enough of your creatures actually will turn Wing Puncture into removal, and that is not necessarily the case here. So if they're playing 3/3 flyers, I'm not sure I'm playing Wing Puncture. Alright, so I think it's a decent decent infect deck. The only pick I regret now, but and it's only in hindsight, is that pick 2. I took this mirror. Where is he? There, this mirror over the Untamed Might, and that's one thing this deck is missing. But I mean, I can't really regret that pick, because I mean, first pick Contagion Class does not put you in infect, and I think that's what makes Contagion Class a good first pick, is that it keeps you open to infect, and it's going to be solid in any deck. It's going to be at its best, obviously, if you can take advantage of Proliferate, and the most likely place you can take advantage of Proliferate is in an infect deck. The other thing I'm missing is Fume Spitter. I probably should have picked up one of those 2 Fume Spitters, but I think I'll live. I mean, I think any of the picks that involve Fume Spitters were close, so I don't know if I'm gonna kick myself for any of them. May want a Copper Mirror, and I may want a Wall of Tanglecord. I did end up a little light on premium infect creatures. Like, by premium, I would say Plague Stinger, Bear, and at the 4-drop, the Tangle Angler. I did get some Corpscurs, though. I guess Corpscurs should be considered premium as well. The rest of the guys are sort of just filler, right? Like, even Blight Mamba. Definitely Blackleaf Goblin, which is still going to make the cut, but I actually don't have that many infectors, but with 2 Corpscur, that should be fine. I also have a lot of I have more reach than normal, I think, than the average infected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures that say infect. That's a little low, but that's what came. Skin Render and Still Infection making the cuts. I can play, so I can put in the Bellowing Tangleworm, and also play the Tainted Strike. I think that works. So Bellowing Tangleworm and Skin Render plus a Tainted Strike. A little bit below optimal, I guess, but not terrible. And then play Copper Mirror, Wall of Tanglecord, or Withstand Death. So yeah, I have the, even though I'm a little low on infect creatures in like overall, 4 2-drops is sort of, I mean, you don't want less than that, but I mean, 4 is good enough at the 2-drop, and double Corpscur and Hand of Freighter, pretty good. Could have used maybe 2 more infect creatures. So yeah, do I want to get Wall of Tanglecord or Withstand Death in here? Don't have too many combat tricks, if any. Still Infection, I guess, could be a combat trick, but Tainted Strike, it's not really a combat trick, more of a finisher. With one of my 2 non-infectors in play. Or, you know, if I just need the extra one. And with all this, with a lot of reach, I mean, where you're slowly grinding away their infect total, their poison total, with Contagion Class for throwing a gift, that extra 1 could be relevant. I'm not going to play Withstand Death, so for the extra trick, I have a low enough curve that maybe I can play wall tangle chord, but I mean, I have enough, like the tail end of my deck, like Stand Death, wall tangle chord. I probably should play wall tangle chord. I'm a little weak to flyers. Good in the infect mirror. Yeah. Just thinking whether I need to add a land or not. I mean, I have a lot of sinks, like Heavy Arbalist and Double Contagion Clasp. Good mana sinks. I have a Copper Mirror and a Spell Bomb, which sort of lower the need for lands as well. Yeah. Alright. 8 and 8 seems fine, and I will submit. See you round 1.